coming into a side river here. I will put the name of it on the screen when I make this video. It's a French word I don't know if I can pronounce without looking at it again. And it's kind of tricky. You come in, I think we're at low tide right now. I'm going to run back really quick. It goes from, 30 up to 30 feet out there in the main channel. And then when you come across the bar here and you have to go really close to that beach, it comes up to about 2 feet at low tide here. But we got across it just fine. We just tilted up the motor and we're going real slow. And we're going to come in here and find a place to anchor. Stay tuned. Those are all shells. Well, howdy guys and gals. So Wavy and I are going on a little adventure inside of an adventure. We came into this little side river off of the ICW. We're south of St. Augustine, Florida. And down this river here, it's low tide. I'll show you as we're going out. There's a bridge, and then just a little bit down from that bridge is a gas station and a Publix grocery store. And so we anchored right behind me here. You might be able to see. And we're going to go get some provisions, get some gas and such, and just kind of make a little adventure out of it. So I'm going to try to bring you along and show you as much as I can. It's just, you've seen a lot of this stuff before, but this one involves taking the dinghy a little bit farther and finding a place to leave it and stuff like that. So let's just kind of go together and we'll figure it out together, and hopefully it'll be interesting. So stay tuned. And of course we're taking the Beagle. She just screamed her head off the whole time. So neglected. Somewhere over there and leave the dinghy. And now that we've come down here, I can see that if I was really careful, I probably could have just brought the barge all the way down here. There's plenty of depth if you kind of go slow and watch for the low spots or the high spots, or however you would say that. Looks like a good spot. Okay, tied her up to the tree. We're going to load up the cans. Might bring the Beagle. I know, why don't we just make it easier? Shush! Hey, shush, stop. I know, why don't we make it easy on ourselves and just go to marinas, right? Well, I kind of like the challenge of this. Plus we get exercise, plus Wavy gets exercise. We save a little money. I don't know. I understand the question. I hear it a lot, or I see it a lot in the comments, like, some version of why you go through all this trouble when you could just pull up to a dock and they would just fill up your tanks and you'd pay them, right? It's nice and easy. But I'm not quite there yet. Maybe when I'm 70 or 80 years old, I'll do that. But right now at age 51, and I'm kind of fighting the good fight. I'll just keep doing it this way for now. So, all right, stay tuned. I was really happy to pop up here and see that we have a sidewalk. This is nice. I was hoping we did. The trip back's going to be easier because I found this walking path that pretty much goes back to where the dinghy's at. So we could have done that on the way here, but I didn't know about it. So that's how it often goes. The way back is often easier. We'll lead the way, Beagle. Where's the dinghy? Come on, sniff out the dinghy. Oh, geez. No traffic. I wish every town had a little walking trail. Make life real easy. The whole country should just be crisscrossed with walking trails, bike trails, and scooter trails. You'd never have to go out on the freeway again. I'm just going to try to, another one of my attempts at articulating a deep thought. Here, I'll cue it right now. So when I was in Publix there, people kept looking at Wavy down there at the bottom of the basket. And, you know, you could tell that the employees were like, But they've all been told in their little meetings, like, if you see something like that, don't say anything. Don't ask. As long as they don't have them in the basket. Because we tried that once. And they said, you can't keep them in the basket, which I understand. So, but you're kind of being watched. And then the other people shopping, you know, most of them were like, oh, what a cute dog. And then Wavy gets excited. And I have to be like, oh, hold on, you know, I don't want to get her too excited, you know, and they'll like come down and, oh, sorry, you know, they'll pet her or something. And then when you're towing, when you got that outside and you got this big backpack on, and yeah, I guess you look like a quasi Wavy's doing her thing. When you kind of look, well, I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, right now, I'm pretty much indistinguishable from being a homeless guy, probably. And I get to kind of know what it's like to be homeless and how the public treats you when you just kind of appear to be disheveled. And I had to pause it there for a second because Wavy was sniffing something. A squirrel. Trust me, Wavy, you do not want to catch a squirrel. Okay, I better get this out before Wavy stops me in my tracks again. So, I think there's some value in finding out what it's like to be one of the people in society that people look down upon, like the homeless and, you know, the alcoholics, the mentally ill, you know, what have you. It can give you more compassion. I know that when it happens to me, then when I get back out in the quote-unquote real world and I'm kind of just doing the quote-unquote real, you know, normal thing, I kind of see the homeless in a different light, at least for a while. But right now, anybody that saw me, other than like, what's a homeless guy need 10 gallons of gas for? They'd probably just think I'm homeless. So, I don't know. You got any thoughts on that? I'd be curious to know what you think if you got any. Look at this trail. Wish I would have known about this. I think it goes like within 500 feet of where the dinghy's parked. Some more thoughts on the homeless thing. You know, I've thought about this for years. When I used to hang out with Scooter Tramp Scotty, he used to always say, I'm basically just a homeless guy, you know. Now, if you know about Scooter Tramp Scotty, you know, he's lived off of his motorcycle for like 25 years. And he lives in tents, and he, you know, the world is his home, and he calls his camps his homes. You know, he doesn't even call them camps, and I know why, and it's cool. I love it. You know, I learned a lot from Scooter Tramp Scotty, and I guess if I was gonna apply it to myself, I would say that that's the same thing. I'm in a way, I'm kind of a homeless guy. I just happen to have a home. I mean, I have a couple of them. Depending on your standard of home, my little home in Minnesota, you know, has running water and a flushing toilet, so a lot of people just say that's a home. But I've also got, you know, kind of a rustic property in the UP of Michigan that I spend most of my time in, and, you know, that's more of a rustic living, but I'd call that home too. But I'd also call my shanty boat a home. I would call my truck camper a home. I call my nimble vagabond a home. I'd call a tent a home if I'm in tent mode. So I don't know. It's this idea of the homeless. It's always intrigued me. You know, what makes a person truly homeless? I think I've finally figured out how to bungee cord these on where they don't leak when I have them up at an angle. Gotta put the spouts up. They're old cans. I probably found them or got them with something that I bought, and I'll probably have to replace them when I'm done with this trip. I'm just trying to make them, you know, finish the loop. I don't know if you can see right now, guys, but I probably got 50 pounds on my back on this little backpack that I actually found in, I think, Pensacola. I was like exploring a abandoned property, and there was like all this junk, and this tree fell on this house. It was like totally destroyed and condemned. And I saw this backpack laying out there, and I'm like, no one's ever going to use that backpack again. So I grabbed it. This is the other side of the road from where we parked the dinghy here. It's like a dammed up lake. They call it Holiday Lake, I think. So yeah, this little walk to the store and to the gas station was a pain in the ass, in a way. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we got some exercise. Got up the boat. You gotta remember, you're not burning any calories just sitting there steering a wheel, on a boat. I would venture to say that anybody that does the loop, no matter what they're driving, a yacht, a shanty boat, a cabin cruiser, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to figure out a way to get some exercise, because if you don't, you're going to end up just being a slug and gaining weight. And this is our solution. Just forego some of the luxuries, some of the conveniences, probably a better word, and get some exercise in the process. All right, guys, we made it back. There's a little makeshift trail down to the water there. I did spot that the dinghy's still there, so that's always good. Looks like Wavy down there first. Come on, little brat. These sticker bushes. Well, the tide came in, so I'm glad I tied up the dinghy. Oh, I'm stuck in the mud. Alright, we got everything loaded up. Let's get back to the boat. I'm sweating and I'm winded, which tells me I actually put some effort into this, and I burned some calories, and I used my muscles, and I got the blood flowing, so how can that be a bad thing? Come on, tell me. The Pudgy rides a lot better with weight in front. Kind of balances out me sitting in the back, 200 pounds. I've never seen someone put a sailboat up on a lift like that. Maybe you'll see more of that when we get up on the East Coast, like Chesapeake or something, but I think that's the first one. He even got one leg up.